Welcome back, everyone, to the 90 Degree Fight Cast. We're here to talk about the latest interview with Piers Morgan and with Conor Benn regarding his interview regarding his drug scandal that he had and got tested positive twice. So he gave his take, his feelings, his views, and what's the latest with it all. What did you guys think? You guys saw the interview. I thought Piers Morgan didn't, because Piers Morgan's quite pushy. He's brutal and he goes for those hard questions normally. I felt like he was a bit, he didn't go for the kill, but he did push on one question that he really wanted. He was blatantly saying that he's pushing on is why, if he's got this dossier, 270-page dossier, why isn't he releasing that to the public to prove his innocence? And it seemed like Conor Benn didn't quite know how to answer that. I don't know, maybe his legal team told him not to answer that question or anything regarding that sort of material. So what do you guys think? How did the interview go? What do you think, Bill? How did it play out?
Well, the interview, I think, was really well played out. I think Piers Morgan missed something. When because he's suing the British Board of Boxing, yeah. Because they banned him, yeah. So he can't fight in the UK. He's not bothered about fighting in the UK. So it's going to be Middle East or the US. He's going to fight, yeah. But he's been cleared by everybody else because they realize that it wasn't actually his fault. Now that dossier, because he's suing that the British Board of Boxing, he can't show that, or because it might jeopardize his case.
Right.
So this is what came out today. So let's just clear that part up. I think they just missed that, and it's become a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I should have shown the dossier." But everybody knows if there's a case in any shape or form, you're not supposed to share information. First major interview. He doesn't really do interviews or anything like that. First major interview he's had since this, and he was saying he felt suicidal. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know how this happened. Well, he doesn't know, but he's got the proof. He's got the dossier. Yeah, but he's been cleared to fight as well because obviously because he's suing the British Board of Boxing, he can't show, and he can't go public with this. But he will in time. Everything will come out. Now he's got a fight set in June. I think Eddie Hearn was saying something about June. It could be, and he's talked about fighting Chris Eubank Jr.
He talks about Pacquiao as well.
Yeah, and he's talking about Pacquiao. So I'm guessing it might be Pacquiao in the Middle East. And actually fighting Chris Eubank, and I think that's a fight. Chris Eubank might actually duck that one.
I don't know. I don't think he will because he lost to Liam Smith, so he's got enough to lose. Yeah. Unless he wants to rematch Liam Smith, then good luck to you. But I don't know. But the thing is, the Conor Benn fight now is a bit diluted now, isn't it? Because he lost. Chris Eubank Jr. lost the last fight, so it kills the interest a little bit. How about you, Hub? You saw the interview. I saw a lot of comments, people saying he looks guilty. He looks like he's uncomfortable, and the things he's saying, it looks like it was a bad look for him. He shouldn't have done that interview. It makes him look worse now. What do you think? Do you think it made him look worse? Do you think? Nah, it was good for him.
I think it did make him look worse. Like being in teaching and seeing people, and the behaviors and how they actually display them. Right? He brought up his suicidal tendencies and everything, but when he brought him up and the timing of when he brought him up was a bit suspicious.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like if these things were affecting you, you would have been emotional from the onset, and then the fact that he was able to get emotional, and then you can do crocodile tears, and I'm a bit like unsure whether it was crocodile tears. It's a bit suspect. But not only that Dill, you made a really good point about him being new in his career and the legal case. But at the same time, if it was a legal case and that was the thing, that would have been fresh in the mind. You can't mention this.
He is.
Before he went on the interview, do not mention the coach.
You're going to an interview with a person like Piers Morgan,
He's gonna
who
grill
will
you.
absolutely pick up on everything. You know, they've coached him just before he's got on. Look,
Oh
this,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
got to be very
If they coached
careful
him,
what you say, Cole. He will catch you.
the
So a
smartest
guy,
thing.
you're telling me if Raz or you go sit down in front of Piers Morgan, man, you wouldn't, you don't know what the hell's gonna go through your mind
But the
because
one thing they would have
that
said,
guy's a legendary.
yeah, the one thing they would have said to him though is, look, there's a case going on. If they ask you this, think about it logically, legally, right? They would have said, if there's a case going on, just mention, look, yeah, because he said, look, of course I'm going to sue him. At one point, Raz, right? He said that. Just in case I put it.
Say what? Say what?
He said, of course I'm going to sue them. He said it. He said this, yeah.
But it's
Well,
everybody knows there's a court, there's a thingy.
yeah, there's a
So,
case.
if it was something that was trying to hide, fair enough. I'd say okay, fine to your point. But if it's all out in the open and he said it openly, they would have said just simply say this if they ask you why you're not releasing it. You know, there's a legal case going on, and I'm not allowed to do that. It's the quickest, simplest answer, rather than I'm not showing it. I don't need to show it. I've got fights in other countries. You know, I've got fights here, and then Piers Morgan retaliates with, "But you won't be able to fight in Britain."
But he was banned across the board. But then obviously they've reinstated him everywhere else except
Yes, that's what Piers Morgan was making the point on. But then all he had to say was, "Look, listen, there's a legal case going on in the UK, right? So therefore I can't disclose it, not until it's finished. The truth will come out." And you know, and that's easy to coach into someone, no matter what.
So why wasn't that said? Yeah, exactly. It was a simple answer he could have given.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Raz?
I know I was a bit 50-50 about it because I did think he didn't need to do that. You know, to prove you're innocent, going someone like with Piers Morgan, do you know what I mean? You know, for example, someone like, do you remember Canelo when he got tested positive, and then he came out a very quick, short statement. I ate some Mexican meat, and you know something was contaminated, and that's where it came from, or something. You know, I'm done paraphrasing, but you know, something along those lines. And he didn't say any more about it. Look, he said his statement, and the world went nuts, and he let it go nuts. And what happened? It fizzled out.
Yeah.
And he's back on the scene like never happened. So he should have just done that. He should have just stayed quiet. You know what I mean? You've got tested positive twice.
I think you got a lot of hate thingy.
He's got exactly, but that makes hate makes things worse. You know, because then it gets personal. You're emotional.
And it's affected him mentally as well.
Yeah, and even his dad, I think he came on to Piers Morgan from wherever he is, and he started getting all emotional, talking about himself more than Conor Benn. You know, if anything, I mean, your son's the one in trouble here. Why are you talking about yourself for? That annoyed me a bit. I thought, man, shut up. You know, it's about your son over here. You know, you're talking about yourself. Come on, man. You know, but the one thing I did think, like, he's taking testosterone, right? That drug, whatever it is. And one thing he said is, why am I going to need testosterone? I'm 26 years old. And which is true. Like, you know, he's going to be full of testosterone, man, at that age, and he's a fighter and stuff, adrenaline pumping and everything. So I did think, oh, you know, if it was true, maybe he actually didn't know about it. Something he's had, he probably didn't even know about it.
Probably got trainers and all sorts saying take this, take that. You know, when you're in that field and everything, everyone's telling you to take this and take that.
No, it was just slightly elevated. Like there were some tests that were positive, negative, positive, negative, but then 2 came through positive back to back. And that's what picked him up.
That's what picked up. But overall, the interview, I thought it was a bit of a bad look.
You know what? It is a bad look. It's a bad look. I agree with you, Raz.
Yeah, it didn't look good to me. It didn't look like, oh yeah, you know, I'm glad he did that. It kind of shows him at a better light.
I don't think it should have been Piers Morgan. It should have been Good Morning Britain.
Yeah, they want to. You know. but then Piers Morgan didn't go hard though.
Yeah.
So he got away. If Piers Morgan went hard, you could imagine what would have happened.
Yeah, I think Piers Morgan let him off.
Yeah, he did. He just took it. He just stuck to that one subject that he was saying. Look, this is what I can't get my head around. That's why I'm asking you this question. Simple. But he didn't go around it. He didn't do what he normally does, throw hard questions and, you know, very controversial things. He didn't say nothing like that. So I think he let him off quite easy. Because he's a young man at the end of the day as well, you know.
Yeah.
You know, if he did make a mistake, he made a mistake, you know. I'm sure Piers Morgan don't want to throw him under the bus at the same time. Yeah, so all right. So, you know, I think we all kind of agree this similar thing. It wasn't a good look. Personally, for me, I think he should have done a Canelo move and just stay quiet. Let it fizzle out. You know, these things do fizzle out because people just want to see fights at the end of the day. And if a fight was made, they wouldn't care anymore. They'll be like, all right, he's fighting, let's just watch it. And then if he pulls off a good performance, they'll be like him again. And just like Canelo, forget everything happened and move on. You know, yeah, so anyway, you guys at home, thank you for watching. Tell us, let us know in the comment what you think about the interview with Piers Morgan. I felt Piers Morgan should have pushed a bit more. I wanted to see him do what he usually does. Really push those hard questions, but he let him off. But at the same time, you know, hats off to Conor Benn for coming on with someone like Piers Morgan, you know, who is known to be quite a tough, you know, person to sit with. But yeah, thank you again for joining us. We're going to catch you on the next one.